Now we're on the E5 block. E5 is a modified block. So we're going to go to the booklet. And the booklet has an applique circle over the center instead of all of this here. So that in this case, they're indicating that they want you to get these little tiny pieces. But this applique circle over the top is a whole lot easier. Now, the big difference is when you're laying out your pieces, you want to put this on top and draw a line of where this is so that you can have an easier time of this, because the paper pieces look like this. Ignore the circle, but they look like this and they all come to a point in the center. So what I did is I cut the tips off. And so when I drew my line, this is where the circle landed with the pieces without fabric. And so that way I know I can cut an approximate 1/4 inch seam, because if you try to put all this fabric in the center, it's going to be a madhouse mess. So there's no reason to have it in the first place. So go ahead and just cut those down and eliminate that problem. And this way it's going to go together a lot easier. For my basting, I want to make sure that my tags all go the same way. So that means that whatever side you use last is the direction for your tags. So I'm going to do these short sides first on each one. And so one of these and one of these. And then I'm going to pick. Am I going to do this one and then this one, or opposite? But whatever I do, I'm going to go ahead. So like all the short ends are first. But then I'm going to do this one and then this one. And then the same thing, it'll be this one and then this one. This one and then this one and this one, and so on and so forth, so that all of your tags spiral in the center underneath the applique circle. So I'm going to go ahead and start basting these, and then I can put them together in sections. And if you take this, you can break this up. Imagine this is a square, okay? So I'm going to make a section of these, a section of these, and so on, so that I've got 2 pieces here, 2 pieces here, and then I'll be able to put them together. So if you look at the 45, this is where your 2 pieces are going to come in. It's going to be a lot easier to get that assembled. So let me go ahead and start getting these pieces basted and paired up. Okay, so I got some of these basted. Wanted to point out, you're not seeing these tags on the inside because I clipped my corners a bit. You don't have to, but I think that's why I don't have tags on the inside here. But I still want to make sure that I'm doing my my pieces in a clockwise or counterclockwise thing. So I'm kind of, doing this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, so on and so forth. These are taped together. They're not sewn together yet. Just a word of advice here. When you're taping these together, when you're lining these up, keep in mind that these are ones, if you've done this, these are ones that you've chopped off randomly. So these are not going to line up at all. Or if they do, it's just by chance. Make sure you're lining up the outside edges of these as you go. And then when you start stitching, you're going to want to start on the outside here and then stitch this way, because it's important that this is lined up at the end of the day. So that's why you want to start there, to make sure that that's where it lands. So I'm going to keep going here, stitch some of these together, but I just wanted to point those few things out. When I baste this circle, I'm going to use a gathering stitch all the way around to pull it together in the middle to get as smooth of an edge as I can. And then all the little points that may be behind, I can pull under as I applique it, so that it's a nice smooth circle. So let me get some of these quadrants put together. So I've got these all paired up and sewed together. This I have taped so that I can stitch the quadrant together. And this quadrant is stitched together already. So I'm going to finish making these quadrants, and then I can make 2 together to make a row, and then I can put the halves together before I add my applique circle, which I have already basted here. So I'm going to get to finishing this up right now. So I've got my 2 halves together. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect these so that we have a full square, like that. So I've got all of my pieces aligned and put together, I should say. Now you can see exactly why you want to, make sure that you line up the edges because you want a square, and the middle is not so lined up. Nobody cares because nobody's going to know. You're going to take this and you're going to center it. And what you've got the points here. You center it on this line, center it on this line, but I'm going to make, marks on each side to make sure that I can line it up properly. And then I staple it down and then I'm going to applique it on from there. But that's my next step. But see, as long as you have, whoops, and that's the other thing that's why placement's important, so you have the proper seam allowance. But as long as you have this covering it, nobody cares that the points don't match because nobody's going to know. But this is a lot easier than dealing with all of those paper pieces coming together in the middle and trying to deal with that, because again, it's not necessary. So this is the trick to this block right here. So let me get this aligned and placed, and then I can applique it down. So for placement, you're probably wondering how to do it so that it's very exacting, because there's a seam allowance, but it's not huge, and you don't want it to look weird when you're done, and you don't want to keep doing it all the time. So obviously this is the center line and this is the center line of the square, but how do you find the center of a circle? So you take this and you fold it in half so that it's the same, and crease the crap out of this crease on the edges of the fabric. Open it up and put a mark in the crease. This one's a little off. I have to fix that. Okay, so then you open it up, makes those two marks touch, fold it again, crease it again, and mark the edges, and that way it'll be just about as accurate as you can get it to then place it in the right location, because you have to line all this up, line this up as you go. And I'm going to do this quadrant by quadrant. So I'm going to line 2 of these up, and then I'll staple it, and then I'll line the next one up. I don't know if I'm going to go across or what, but make sure that you're getting these lined up as you go. It's kind of twitchy, or really weird, because it does want to slide. I might have to find some pins to pin it down so that I can attach it, or I can staple it down. But yeah, so that's how you find the center, and then as a matter of point, then you're going to have to do that to attach it. But it took me a while to figure out how to do that, and I thought I would share that with you. So now you're going to have to give yourself a little bit of grace, because you're probably frustrated and the fact that it's not completely right. You're going to have a bowl. That's okay. All of this is going to chill out when you take all the papers out, but we're not to that point yet. The other thing is, you may, however you're attaching it, like for me, this is the edge. Well, guess what? I have to stitch there. So I can either stitch around it, or when I get to that point, I can take the staple out. So, but obviously I'm not going to start there. I'll work on it in places where I can get to the edge a lot better. So it's okay, but I have this. We've got the seam allowances covered up. So the next thing to do is to applique it down. Just make sure that every time you do a stitch that you get the bottom part with the top parts, because it's easy, as you can see, because of the way this is. Maybe I should have made more, cut less off, but hindsight and all that. So if you want to cut less off, that's always a good thing. But just make sure you grab the bottom fabric as you go around. So now I will get this stitch down. So I managed to do my applique all down without taking the staples out, and to me, I'm like, well, where'd the stitches go? And I was real careful, and this is really important on this one. I had to use black thread, so I didn't want it to show on the red. So I made sure that I stitched on this fabric, but it was like, right about here, I would grab the stitch or the fabric, and then I would come forward, and this one did not succeed because it's on top, but there's an edge to this fold, and you want to go into the side or the bottom of this, and then when you pull the thread through, you pull a little bit tighter so that it will bring it underneath if it's somewhat up top. So I just wanted to point that out. I'm going to take my staples out, and then I'm going to take my basting out and see what we got here. So I've taken out my staples, I've taken out my basting, and I've erased, I got a little bit there. I've erased my marker, or my pencil, and I use a white click eraser. I have other white erasers, but I like the white ones because they don't smear regardless of what color you have. So that's, you know. So anyway, I got everything taken care of, and now my E5 block is completed.